Hi, I'm Eric, and today we're at Central Office to meet an individual who has strong family ties to Frederick County Public Schools and who has served in a variety of capacities. Let's go and meet her. We are here today with Dr. Carrie Artis, the Director of Equity for Frederick County Public Schools. Carrie, thank you for your time. It's so nice being here with you today.
It's a pleasure being here with you as well.
Thanks. I've been looking forward to this conversation.
Yes.
So before we get into what you currently do for FCPS, let's talk a little bit about your background. And I kind of want to start with your family's background because your family has been part of Frederick County since the 1800s?
Yes, my maternal family has been here in Frederick County for many generations. My mother, she loves to research our family history, and she has traced us, and her family in particular, to the late 1800s here in Frederick County, especially back in what they call the Della region of Frederick, Maryland. And so we may go back beyond that, but right now we have been able to trace back to the late 1800s.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So you and your family you've seen Frederick grow over the past couple of generations.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. So although your family and that history is here in Frederick County, you were born in Baltimore.
Yes.
And so you didn't start attending Frederick County Public Schools until middle school, right?
Yes, and so I spent a lot of my childhood here in Frederick County because my mom's family was here, although I was born in Baltimore, but I officially moved to Frederick County when I was in middle school. So I did attend West Frederick Middle School for 7th grade, and that year we had a brand new school open, which was Ballinger Creek Middle School, and so I was part of the first class, the 8th grade class at Ballinger Creek Middle School, and so I went to West Frederick, Ballinger Creek Middle School, and then on to Frederick High.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
First 8th grade class at Ballinger Creek Middle,
Yes.
and then a Frederick High School graduate.
Yes.
So you really have some close connections aside from the family, also your formative education here in Frederick County as well.
Absolutely.
So after you graduated from Frederick High School, you went off to college and you didn't go into education to start. That wasn't your first profession. What did you major in?
So in undergrad, I majored in economics with a minor in East Asian Studies.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep. So my degree was in economics, and I spent some time in Asia as well. And when I left college, I went on to become an economist, actually.
Okay. So what sparked your interest in economics and East Asian culture?
So I've always been a student of culture. I have just really loved studying various cultures through language and linguistics and food. I love to eat too. But I really just fell in love with studying culture even when I was a child. And then when I got to college, I really began to look at the impact of economics on communities across the world. And I really fell in love with economics because of the impact on the culture and just seeing how different countries really dealt with their economics just fascinated me. And so I kind of meshed together cultural studies with economics.
Thanks for sharing that. And so you said you fell in love with economics and how economies impact communities and cultures. So how did that love switch to or evolve into a love for education and wanting to go into teaching?
So I've always loved teaching. And so even in high school, when I was at Frederick High, I loved tutoring other students. I recall back in Frederick High, I was an SSL, and I was tutoring students. Back then, it was a citizenship test. I recall distinctly being an SSL and helping students learn citizenship and learning all about America and the American Constitution and helping students pass the citizenship test back then in the 90s. So I think back then the seed was planted, but even before that, I'll just tell you, my mom and dad were also educators. So I do come from a family of educators. So education has always been a big deal in my family. So I don't know exactly when the seed was planted or when I really got involved with education, but it's always been part of my family. But really when I started working for the federal government as an economist and looking at the global system and even education, I just felt like this was a calling that I need to go more into, just helping children learn more.
Your professional career has taken a lot of different paths, and so I always enjoy talking with you, speaking with you, and hearing what you have to share. And you found yourself serving as the supervisor of equity for Frederick County Public Schools. Talk a little bit about that transition and what you did in that role, and how that role evolved into director of equity for Frederick County Public Schools.
Yeah, so the transition, I started in this role on an acting basis, and so I came here And I came here, I tell people, not because I was unhappy in being in the school, but I saw that role, the supervisory role, as being able to do what I did at the high school level on a systemic level. And so trying to help people, and I mean people by students and faculty and even family members especially, really gain access to opportunities that we have to offer. At Frederick High, the more I talked to students and families, I would just realize that people were not aware of some of the opportunities that our system already offers. And so I just felt like being a supervisor of equity at the time, it would be an opportunity to do that on a systemic level and to help people, other people in schools, to do the same in their schools.
I appreciate that, and I think what some people in our organization and community may not realize is that in that supervisory role, not only are you serving the instructional side of the house, our students, our teachers, the school administrators, but that role also supports the business services side of the organization. So as the supervisor and director of equity, you're supporting the entire organization, which means any member of the school system, many of our students' families or guardians can reach out to you if they have questions or concerns about making sure that the needs of the individual are being supported in the best way possible.
Absolutely.
So talk a little bit about your work as Director of Equity now.
So right now, as Director of Equity, and I always kind of summarize it as this: my job is to help ensure that every student gets what they need, when they need it, how they need it. And I think we have a lot of words to just explain that. But at the end of the day, my role is to help people meet the needs of every child in the school system and to ensure that children have access to what we do have to offer as a school system. On the other side of that, just provide opportunities for improvement for our school system. So when a child is not getting what they need, when they need it, and how they need it, just offering some advice or consult on how we can improve in those areas.
All right. So Carrie, one of the programs that you facilitate in your office is Student Voices. Can you talk a little bit about that program and how it helps to support students and staff on the instructional side of our organization?
Yeah, Student Voices is an awesome program where we go into schools and we offer students the opportunity to make connections with each other and also the staff in their school buildings. And it really provides an opportunity for connection. So students get together and they talk about their schools and their school experiences, because one thing we have found out is that sometimes the perception of the adults and the students in a school are a little bit different. So it really does help schools with their students take some time to hear each other out. So you might be sitting at a table with someone else and they have a different perspective than you, and then you'll hear them out and you'll listen to what they have to say and just say, you know what, I've never considered that perspective before, but now that you're saying it, I better understand how you experience school. It also provides a time for them to talk about what's great about their school, and hey, these are the awesome things about our school and we want to lean into those things and do more of those things. But it does provide them an opportunity to say, these are some things that maybe are not so great about our school or that need some improvement, and then they really on the driver's seat of identifying those things and identifying ways they can make things better.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And one of the things I value about the Student Voices program, just having participated in that in the past, is that you have students from across a school that maybe have never spoken to each other, don't know each other, and within a couple hours in a day, having that opportunity to get to know classmates or peers that they otherwise would not have had an opportunity to talk with or speak with and listen to and get a chance to appreciate.
Yeah, one thing we've started to do, I think it was like 2 years ago, we have started the Changemaker Summit. And so as a result of the Changemaker Summit, the same thing. Students from across the county are together and they are talking about how can we be a positive impact on not just our nuclear school community, but the larger community as well. And so we have seen great connections built from students across schools that say, hey, we want to work together with the student from the other schools to help make our community a better place. And so it's been a very powerful program for individual schools, but also for the system as well.
Right. And you talked about some of the factors that contribute to the wealth of diversity within our community, and one of them is age, different generations. So allowing those different generations of staff members and students to come together and talk and hear, for me, it's hearing what our students are experiencing now. I mean, I remember what it was like being their age, but so much has changed since then. So hearing what it is they're experiencing today and how we can better support them is very, very beneficial. And then they hear from us what we experienced. Yeah. And why we think the way that we do as adults as well. So it's a mutual interchange, and I think it strengthens those relationships within schools. The dedication, eagerness, and delight Carrie has for serving Frederick County Public Schools is admirable and inspiring. In talking with Carrie, it is clear she loves this community and aims to be a resource for families. One of the things I picked up from listening to Carrie is that she does not shy away from change, but rather sees it as an opportunity to grow and try something different, to serve in a larger capacity. From being an economist, to a teacher, to working as a teacher recruiter, to being one of the first LINC advocates at Frederick High, to assistant principal, to the role Carrie now serves in as the director of equity. Whew. Her commitment to making sure every student and staff has what they need, when they need it, and how they need it, has not wavered. What Carrie does on a daily basis is essential to Frederick County Public Schools. One last question for you. Now, based off of how you answer this question, I may have another one.
Okay.
But can you tell us what you love about your role in supporting FCPS?
What I love about my role in FCPS, there are so many things. You know, I go back to what I kind of started off with. I find that I am able to support the entire system in this role. I am able to support students, staff, and families. I am able to connect people with opportunities. I am able to see lives transformed by the work that we do. And so for me, just as a human, but also as an educator, like that is what we want. Like we want to be able to see people grow and learn and achieve. And so in this role, that's something that I'm able to do all across the county. And so that really does encourage me. I love that.
That's awesome. And what I forgot to mention is you also serve as a liaison between FCPS and other school systems and other agencies and organizations that also support the work of making sure that each and every child has what they need. That we're supporting our students who are members of historically marginalized groups, and that the work that you serve as a liaison allows you to be able to learn what's happening out in the community so that you can better support what's happening here in the school system.
Absolutely. Our connections with our partners in the surrounding counties has been critically important as we grow together. So within this county, but in the state of Maryland as well.
Yeah. So Carrie, before we end and say goodbye for now, I just want to thank you because I know the work that you do, there's a lot involved in it. And the reason I know that is because I had the privilege of serving as the supervisor of equity before you took that role on. So I appreciate everything that you do and everything that your team does. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure. Thank you.
I enjoyed spending time speaking with Dr. Artis today and learning about her family's background here in Frederick County and how that background has instilled in her a love for our community. That love has propelled her into public education, and over the past several years, she's been able to serve as a teacher recruiter, an administrator at the school level, and now at the district level. I also appreciated learning about her role as director of equity and how, in that role, she supports every student every day, making sure that they have what they need, how they need it, when they need it. And that support also transfers to staff and making sure that they have everything that they need to feel respected and valued within the workspace. That allows them to be able to provide the best support possible for our students and their families. What she does is essential to the work we do here in FCPS. Well, everyone, until next time, please continue to take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be well.